So, I don't know. It's a lot going on. 2020 has definitely been a year.
An eye opener.
Man, talking about like crazy.
Exposing everybody.
Everybody exposed. We got these people out here playing with kids. Now, you had tagged me in a post on Facebook about the creator of Black Lives Matter, the white guy,
Yeah.
being connected to some type of pedophilia activity.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm thinking like, is everybody that got a certain amount of money in their account like kids, like, or is it just? Is there something is that part of being?
Yeah.
I
We had
asked you
talked about
that.
that the other day, and I was just like, nah, they was doing it before, and they doing it now, and because they got a little money, they able to a little bit of power, a little bit invincibility. They able to do certain things that they've been wanting to do.
Oh my gosh! And you heard
But
they
it
trying
makes
to.
it weird though, just to think. Well, first of all, he was white.
Yeah, and we all
Yeah.
knew he was white, right?
Yeah,
Right.
but it
Okay.
was just weird though.
And they trying to connect pedophilia with. They trying to link it into the LGBT community.
I hate that they do that.
But is that a thing, or is it just somebody?
That's pedophiles have been trying to get their colors on the LGBT flag for the longest.
And that would be like suicide for the community.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's
no.
why every time when I talk to people, especially ignorant people, when I talk to them about LGBT rights or whatever, they're like, well, y'all the ones who made it comfortable for pedophiles, which I can see that to a certain degree. Because gay people always say that, well, we always say, I don't know why I say that. We always say that we were born this way.
Right.
And so next thing you know, pedophiles coming out like, yeah, we were born liking babies.
Okay, so no.
Yeah.
That does
it's like,
not work.
No, that's not what we're
That's not what
talking
we're
about.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about how we like to have sex with people who like to have sex with us.
Okay.
That's what we talking about.
Right, we're not
Pedophiles,
pushing
y'all,
that.
Yeah, y'all are predators.
Right. Because I'm sure the little kids that you are looking at ain't looking at you like that.
Right?
They're kids. They have no concept of the word sexual behavior or
No,
anything like that.
Or attraction or
None of
anything.
that. It's just they children. So how can you say that, they want it? And the whole conversation for me is just, it hurts my head.
Yeah.
So,
'Cause some people minds you can't change
and I don't get, I don't never get it. And I
No.
think that's the problem for me because I'm usually one of those people who can kind of see gray area everywhere. Like, okay, I can see why. Or yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see how that makes sense. But that part I just will never I will never be okay with that.
No.
I can never understand attraction to children. Now, and this might sound bad, I can see how people are attracted to older children like 17 and
Or
16.
like
I can see that.
children who's going through adolescence.
When they
And
start
that's
to have
even pushing it.
right, but when they start to have a manly or a
Yeah.
female type body that looks something like a grown person,
Yeah.
I can understand why they would see attraction there. But children who you wouldn't know if it was a boy or girl unless their clothes or their
Right.
hairstyle. I don't understand. I will
'Cause
never.
like back in the day, like in Color Purple, like
Right.
Celie and them was like
13,
14,
14,
years old.
right.
And that's what people used to do back in the day. They
Mhm.
were like, as soon as the child, well, especially women,
Right.
they would do little girls like that.
Right.
As soon as they start going through adolescence and having their menstruals and stuff,
Right.
it's like, okay, it's time for us to help you find a husband.
Right.
And 99% of the time, it was a husband in his 30s and 40s.
Yeah, right.
So
Because that was like you need somebody who's established,
yeah,
somebody who got a house, land, all that kind of
But
stuff.
that was even pushing it like
Yeah.
But back then it was about survival.
Yeah,
But now,
the times are
yeah,
changed. Right.
we ain't got time for you arranging marriages between kids and grown ass people.
Right. Right. So
And I
that's.
just don't. I don't see the attraction.
I don't see that.
what's
It's not. It's
the-
not needed. It's not
Yeah.
needed. Like yeah. Okay.
Not needed, and then I don't see how because I didn't see stories where like men molested like babies,
Yeah. Like.
infants.
Yeah. Infants. Goo goo gaga.
Right.
Yeah. Like babies with
Yeah.
Pampers. Like. Now
What
you
is
sick.
doing?
No, you're sick. You need to be up under the. Like I feel like I don't believe in death penalty, but I do for that. Like that's
Right.
one reason that you
Maybe
need to go.
lifetime torture would be okay for me.
Even that.
So
Even that.
waterboarding,
All day long, every
all
day.
of that. Because it's like, what is you doing?
Right.
What is wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
And then that whole Wayfair thing.
Oh my goodness, I was talking about that at work. Like y'all selling cabinets with babies in there. Like who?
Yeah.
See, it's too much. I can't even order furniture no more. I don't know. I might open up the cabinet and somebody's child in there,
And I used to.
and I'm gonna be mad as hell.
Well, no, you couldn't afford it because they had them.
Oh yeah, they was thousands of dollars.
$13,000. What the heck? This is a regular regular kind of cabinet.
Yep.
Why is y'all selling it and then naming it after kids who were missing?
Missing. That's sick.
And now you go. Of course, you go on the website now, you ain't gonna find it. But people took screenshots. Was like, what is this?
Right. How does this make sense?
No, it does that.
Oh, child. It's so much.
We need to protect the children.
Protect our babies, y'all, at all costs. And you know what? It don't even have to be your child. Just protect babies in general. Anybody's child. You see somebody's child being done wrong or something that don't look right, you need to say something. I don't care. I tell people all the time that I treat every kid. It don't matter if they're mine or not. When they're in my house, they my kid.
Yeah.
So I'm treating them as such. They gonna get a whooping. They're going to get yelled at. They're going to get, you know what I'm saying? They're going to get the same treatment that I would treat my own.
But I don't see how, sometimes I don't see how kids go missing.
I feel like people get sold. Kids get sold.
Maybe because, yeah.
They get sold. Yeah. They get sold. They don't always go missing. People out here selling their babies on the black market for that dollar.
Right. Like I remember back in the day when I was a kid. When we moved to Texas, most of the time I was by myself. Mm-hmm. So I'd be running around, playing around on my bicycle or whatever, just outside, all in the woods, in the creek and stuff by myself.
Right.
And I never got picked up. Maybe because I was chunky. You know, chunky kids don't go, fat kids don't go missing.
I said that the other day. I was like, you know what? Y'all ain't got to ever worry about nobody messing with me. Because my kids, when it's dark and I go somewhere, my kids be like, Mama, what if I'm like, listen, this is my defense mechanism. Ain't nobody finna tussle with me. Right. Ain't nobody gonna tussle with me. Cause they know that they gonna sweat.
Right.
It ain't gonna be no easy. You know what I'm saying? She gonna fight back.
Oh, that's too funny. But then when back in Arkansas, like I had a brother, so we were always hanging out and we were always hanging around with other kids.
Uh-huh.
So I can kind of see how some kids go missing, but for the most part, it's like, ain't all of y'all like hanging out together?
Right, should be.
And then even now, most of the kids just stay in the house anyway.
That's why I said they
video
get sold.
So how's y'all going missing again?
Mm-hmm. Like at this point in time, nobody kids should be missing.
Right.
Cause don't nobody go outside. Like you said, we was little. We down the street, all across in the neighbors' place. You know, swimming in apartment buildings. They ain't doing that no more. So. That's why I said they're getting sold. They mama like, you know what? You play too much Fortnite.
But I remember that whole thing, I think it was in Georgia, where a whole bunch of kids had went missing. A whole bunch of black kids were going missing. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of scary. And, like, they was out protesting and stuff like that. I wonder why people ain't doing that no more. I don't see... I guess maybe because ain't nobody paying any attention.
Yeah, I mean it's the rules. Like we seeing Black Lives Matter.
Because if Wayfair is doing it, then you know it's still going on. Sex trafficking is still a thing. I remember all the time going into Walmart and they had that board, "Have you seen me?"
Yep. And I feel like every large business, is part of it in some type of way. They know something about it.
Yeah.
And the man who created the whole Black Lives Matter movement is a pedophile, so that's just the rules as well.
Yeah.
And that's why we were talking about last week. Like,
okay, well, I don't know if he was the creator.
They say
he was.
It. But he had something to do with it.
I think he was like head of the chapter where he's at.
Oh, okay,
like
okay.
Kind of like how NAACP, like, you know, it's everywhere, and you have certain people just the face or the head of the movement.
Right.
And he was one of those, always at the protest.
He out there scouting children and whatnot.
Right.